Hello and welcome back to All Things Trentside. How you doing, guys? I hope you're all well. Feels like an age since I last spoke to you all. My upload was Friday. It's been such a slow weekend. How about you lot? But yeah, we're back with another video. This is going to be my match review of the game against Preston. I always get them confused. Preview and review. But no, it's going to be my match review for the game against Preston at the weekend. Of course, if you've not already seen it, then there will be spoilers, but I think everyone who probably watches this would have known the score. It's always in the description anyway. But yeah, Forest went to Deepdale and got a 1-1 draw. Lewis Grabbans' penalty was cancelled out by Jaden Stockley, equaliser. Neither side could find the winner. Game again, a few chances, as normally Forest games are sometimes, especially when teams don't normally attack us like some teams like to. I actually said in the preview, I think said Alex Neil plays expansive football, but maybe that was the wrong Alex Neil or the wrong team I was thinking of. So if you did watch that and think Alex Neil doesn't play expansive football and free-flowing football, then I apologise. Sometimes the research isn't always up to date, no matter how many stats I do come out with. Obviously, I'm not a big Preston follower either. I'm not going to get all the games up and analyse. I should do, but anyway, we digress. But yeah, Forest went to Deepdale looking to get back to winning ways. Of course, they'd not won in 2 games prior to that. They lost to Fulham and the draw against Derby, so pressure was starting to get to Forest a little bit. Teams, winning around us, but fortunately for us, teams as well, as in the Derby week, the Derby game week, then all the teams around each other played. I think it was the Derby week, or was it there was a weekend where. First Brentford played West Brom, Cardiff and Preston faced off against each other. Fulham and Leeds. I think it was the game against Huddersfield actually. Going looking back onto it, but anyway, it was like that as well. Just with the Championship being so tight, all the teams played in and around each other again. I think as we've seen on Friday night, Cardiff had a chance to close the gap, but Fulham did the job there. Derby played at lunchtime. So again, Forest kind of knew where they stood going into the game. Kickoff was fast approaching at 2 o'clock, as it always is on a Saturday at 3 o'clock. The kickoff, the team is announced at 2. And 1 or 2 surprises, which I was very surprised about, Especially the right back position where Carl Jenkinson came in at the place of Matty Cash. There was no Matty Cash in the squad. Apparently he picked up a knock and what wasn't risked. So Carl Jenkinson come in for... I think there are many starts this season. He's always been a bit part player. His last start came in the defeat against Charlton, and the less said about that, the better. But yeah, there was no Matty Cash, which was a surprise. Because of course, we never, in the Fulham game, he didn't come off, didn't look injured. So it was very surprising. The one absentee that we knew probably was going to happen was Joe Lolly. He missed out, so Nuno da Costa took his place. Tobias Figueiredo also dropped out for Michael Dawson coming back in, which I was a bit surprised about, but I think Figueiredo didn't really have the greatest game against Fulham. He nearly gave away a penalty, which should have been... He didn't have the greatest game. Well, I was surprised, though, because as I was saying to someone earlier, it was surprising that Worrell made the mistake against Derby but kept his place, but Figueiredo didn't. Played a bad game against Fulham and got replaced. If that was the case, I don't know if... Michael Dawson was brought in for the physicality side of things or not. Only Sabri Lamucci knows that decision. But the last change was Ryan Yates came back into the fold. We played with a midfield of probably three defensive mids rather than 2 defensive and 1 attacking. Thiago Silva dropped out. Kind of could see why that is. With Preston's formation, and I play 3 at the back, overload the midfield. With the wingers, so we just kind of needed someone, as we see Ryan Yates against Derby played that kind of role. He did okay in that, and Thiago missed out. We did lack creativity. That sometimes can happen in games with Forest, but when you play like we do, it sometimes doesn't matter. But yeah, that was the team news. So probably Matty Cash was the only surprising absentee. Sabri likes to rotate. Probably maybe Thiago Silva as well, not starting. But other than that, it was pretty much a team that you'd be happy with. But going forward, Forest got off to the perfect start inside 4 minutes. Nuno da Costa come forward with the ball after Forest, as they play a counter-attack in football. Sambaso wins the ball, da Costa carries it forward, and he's brought down by the man who spoke about in the preview, Ben Pearson. I don't think he got booked for the tackle, but I'll have to double check if he actually got booked during the game. Let's just have a quick look now. Spare me 1 second, guys. No, he actually didn't get booked, surprisingly, but it was Ben Pearson who gave the foul away. I say he's a very physical player. He gave it's a bit of a soft penalty from the angle you watch it, maybe from a different angle, and the referee's view, you might disagree. But yeah, Forest got a penalty and Lewis Grabbans stepped up. There's a mixed bag with penalties, Lewis Grabbans, so it would have been one of them who would have been surprised wouldn't have been surprised if he missed. It's not a surprise if he scored. But he sent Declan Rudd the wrong way, get his 20th goal of the season, and in so becoming the first 20 plus goal a season man Forest have had since David Johnson and Marlon Herwood 17 years ago. So terrific feat for Grabbans to achieve that, and congratulations to him. I don't know why I'm saying all this like he's going to be listening, but it is an amazing feat. Forest have lacked that. They've had goal scorers, but they've never had to be able to take it to the next level and get 20. I think a Sombalonga and Earnshaw run close, but Grabbans' goals as well have been vital this season. Yeah, I think you take him out of the equation with nowhere near the top six we would now. But yeah, he dispatched the penalty quite well. Gives us confidence going forward as well, especially if the playoffs are confirmed and then we went to Wembley or we went to the semi-finals and got a penalty or went to a penalty shootout. We know he can be Mr. Reliable again from the spot. But of course, in true Forest fashion, things were going okay for us. I think Swansea had not played yet. They played Leeds, and I think Derby had lost and Fulham had lost as well. So it was looking good for Forest, a win, and I think a Swansea loss or something like that would have confirmed the playoffs, or they would have confirmed the playoffs. I'm not too sure. But yeah, in true Forest fashion, never make it easy there. They did concede an equaliser. Preston played the ball onto the right-hand side. Ball's played across. Dawson can't cut it out, and there's Jayden Stockley to tap home. Didn't mention Jayden Stockley in the preview. I'm surprised he scored with his feet. It's normally ahead of the big target men like that, and Forest struggled to deal with that. Especially we've seen it in lockdown before, the games before lockdown, when Gusted and Matt Smith gave our defenders a torrid time. We never going to deal with that physicality, so I think that's why another reason Michael Dawson was brought into the squad. But no, Jayden Stockley was allowed to tap home, and it was 1-1. The game really didn't have many chances. That both teams, were just happy sitting off each other. Amiobi went close with we'll talk about his actual shot they had where he cut inside and curled it just wide. It was could have gone anywhere. It was a nice shot, to be fair. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite get the curl on it to put it in the back of the net. We won't talk about his free kicks. That's 2 weeks in a row. Well, two games in a row now where Forest have done something ridiculous with the ball. Amiobi's free kick, which I don't even know why he's taking it and how it's even gone like that. And obviously Diakabi's touch. Yeah, Preston had some chances as well. Maguire was thwarted by Samba. I think he had that bit of extra pace. As soon as Michael Dawson let the ball bounce, he was allowed to scamper after it. Samba come out, made a good save. Might have been going wide, but obviously you never know. Stuck out his leg, come out well, just to make sure that Forest kept that point, a very good point in the end. Bodies on the line as well. We've seen it a lot from Forest this season, which is nice to see. Joe Wall and Michael Dawson, I can't remember which Preston player had the shot, but they threw themselves at the ball. I think it might have been Wall who actually got the block in, so he went down afterwards. But nice to see that this sticking their necks on the line for this club at the moment. So all we want. But yeah, it ended 1-1 again. It's kind of like the Fulham game, not really a lot to speak about. Not many chances were created that much. We kind of cancelled each other out in that respect. I mean, if you look at the stats now, 50-50 possession. How many times this season have Forest had a game where we've had equal possession? It's normally we have less. Only 3 shots on target. We only had 1, so not really a lot to speak about in that aspect. So we can talk about the point in the end, though, especially the significance given of what happened today. So if Forest would have, obviously, when Forest drew the game, if we'd have then seen Swansea go and beat Leeds today, Swansea would have only been 3 points behind us, given the massive game edge to the game on Wednesday. But I think, speaking on half of all Forest fans who've seen this, I think first time we'd ever celebrated a Leeds goal, when maybe in the playoffs last season against Derby when they went 1-0 up. But other than that, Pablo Hernandez's goal them Swansea to defeat, and now the gap is 6 points with 3 to go. So of course that means on Wednesday, if Forest are to beat Swansea at the City Ground, Forest place in the 2019-20 Championship playoffs will be confirmed. Of course, we'll get onto that in my match preview for the game. We'll talk about how probably Forest will let us down in that, but no, a good point nonetheless. Preston's a hard place to go. Never normally win there, as I mentioned in the preview. Very dogged performance as well. As soon as we got the early goal, I think that set us up. See, that's the thing with Forest this season. We can't kill teams off. That's what's killed us off so many times this season. Not being able to get that killer second goal. I know we scored quite early on, then Preston hit back, but after that, it never looked like, I say, we've had one shot on target all game. I don't know if that includes the penalty or not, if that counts. It is a shot on target, but I don't know whether or not, because it's from a dead ball situation. But yes, we couldn't get that second goal. I think it was very surprising that, again, João Carvalho didn't come on. You see on the timeline, people were saying this game was crying out for a creative midfielder. He'd bring Thiago Silva on in the end, but I think the writing's on the wall for Carvalho now. He's not going to get a game, as harsh as it sounds. If he can't get on against Preston, when we're looking for that bit of creativity, he's not going to come on in the playoffs, or he might play a bit part towards the end of the season if we do secure the playoffs earlier than expected, but we will have to see going forward. But yeah, a good point on the road nonetheless. Let's say stops the rot of losing 2 games in a row and then thinking, oh God, we're playing against an informed team next. If we lose that, then the pressure really is on. It's a good point that helped us going forward. It was probably looks more a better point now with what happened at the Liberty Stadium today, with Leeds getting all 3 points at Swansea. But I say, you'd have took a point before the start of the game. I think a lot of fans who aren't biased and think Forest should win every game would have probably said a point. We'd take a point. I think in the end it was a right result as well. Both teams didn't create enough to win the game. As you say, we're just looking at the stats there. Preston only had 3 shots on target. One of them was their goal, and Forest only had Grabbans penalty to shout about. So I don't think it was a game where either team could turn around and say, "Oh, we deserve to win that." It wasn't a classic again for the archive, as some of Forest games actually have been this season, or since we've come back from the restart. It was nice not to concede a late goal, though. I mean, not nice to concede at all, but rather than 45th minute plus added time or the 90th minute plus added time, we actually didn't concede. It was good to see that we could see the game out rather than think, here we go, there's a goal incoming. I think that's what Dawson brings, that experience. That's why I was very surprised that Lamucci ignored him for the Derby game when we were 1-0 up. Sheffield Wednesday also, but it doesn't make a difference now. What's done is done. It looks like Forest are in a strong position now going forward. That game on Wednesday is Forest's probably biggest game of the season. As it stands, obviously, if they lose that, then the next game will be the biggest game of the season. But as it stands, that is Forest's biggest game of the season now. It's where we can actually get the playoff spot, that we've been craving all season. And probably, I know people are saying, "Oh, how are Forest in the playoffs because they play terrible football," but we've not been, we've not fell out the top 6 for a reason. As much as I don't think we play the most attractive football, it works for us. And if we are in the top 6, there is a reason. It's not because, it's also as well that them teams haven't been good enough as well. You think, after the Leeds game, Forest lost so many games and didn't win. Well, not lost, that didn't win for so many. Was it 6 wins? 1 win in 6 after the Cardiff game when we won there. So we didn't want, the teams weren't closing us down. So, but I think we've done enough for a playoff spot at least. It's impossible now. I don't think it is impossible, but it is virtually for automatic promotion. I said it from day one. I don't think we were good enough, or had what it took to get automatic promotion. We'd speak about it, but we would have had to go on a great run and not conceded them 2 late goals and got a win against Fulham. Then we probably could have been talking. But no, playoffs better than nothing. I think at the start of the season you'd have took the hand off, especially we didn't spend as much as we did last season. With we spent quite a bit last season. I think was it near 20 to 25 million. We didn't spend a lot this season, so it was kind of like this unknown manager, unknown quantity in the Championship. Will be out by December. He's not had a lot to spend, but he's moulded his own team and looks barring probably a dramatic collapse from Forest, which you won't be surprised about, that he's going to guide us into the playoffs for the first time since 2010-11 season under Billy Davis. Forest have got to be careful though with the remaining fixtures. They are playing people who are in and around either the top 6 battle or the relegation battle now. After the Swansea game, we do play 2 of the teams that could get relegated from the division, so they're going to be up for it. They've had a good... Sometimes can play well. Stoke picked themselves up after the thrashing by Leeds last weekend, winning today. Barnsley can always get a win. Barnsley remind me of the Sunderland of the Championship when they're always in it. They're in the relegation zone, and then just for the last few games they turn it on, and we all sometimes struggle against Barnsley, especially going to Oakwell. But again, that's another story for another video. But it was a good point for Forest in the end on the road, and going forward, it's a point closer to where we want to be. I say it just stops that rot of losing 2 games in a row, thinking Forest are the wheels falling off, etc. But that was really what I have to say on the game. I can't really say a lot more. I say it's not been a classic. There's not many games for Forest this season where I could talk about when they've been high scoring, or a lot to happen. It's always so as hitting the team on the counter and getting a win, kind of like the Huddersfield game. They dominated. They had a lot of the ball, loads of corners, but we hit them on the break. There was a lot more to talk about than that. But hopefully you did enjoy a bit of the review. I think I've more spoke about Forest playoff hopes now rather than the actual game. I think only like 5 minutes of this video, maybe a bit less, bit more, have been about the actual game. But I say if you did watch it, you understand why. But going forward, Forest now in a good position. That Wednesday game is massive. We'll talk about that on probably I'll say Monday tomorrow. So they'll be uploading the review for this. The upload preview for the game might either be up on Wednesday lunchtime if you're watching it now, or Tuesday. So keep an eye out for that. Like I say, follow us on social media. The links are always in the description. But yeah, guys, it was good to talk to you again. It's really hectic time at the moment trying to get everything up. So sorry, it is a bit of a later upload than usual. It's not. It should have been really today that I did it. But it was also good to sit back and watch the results roll in, so I could actually talk more about the importance of Forest getting a win, or how important that point actually turned out to be. It was a good point on the road, as I kept saying. I've probably said that about 10 times this video, but it was. Go Grabbans, 20 goal man. Positives to take out for Forest. There's always going to be 1 or 2 negatives. I think hopefully Cash is back for the Swansea game. So is Lolly. We can get the win over the line and rest a few key players before the big games that actually come up for the playoffs. We'll have to wait and see what happens. We're not there just yet. But yeah, guys, thanks for listening. I hope you're all well. I hope you are staying safe as always. Hope you are enjoying the content. I always appreciate any feedback. So if you just let me know give us a DM on Instagram or Twitter, I'll try and get back to you. But as always, stay safe, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Ready for the preview for this one. I need to sort out preview and review in my head. I always get them mixed up. But I'll have the preview for the Swansea game up. Keep your eyes peeled on social media. But yeah, just like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends about this. Let's try and get the channel out there a bit. But I hope you are enjoying it. If you are a regular viewer of the channel, I really appreciate the support and the patience of sticking by all these videos. As I say, it's a bit bulky at the moment, of course, trying to do a review, a preview, etc. I keep saying it's something I will look at the end of the season. But yeah, guys, thanks for listening. I hope you're all well. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll speak to you all soon. And as always, come on, you Reds.